Sorry about getting my finger in the way. It's the first episode of Doomsday T on DC, and just had to start my own channel. DC gets a lot of crap on their movies, and in the media they get kind of crapped on, and um, I made a choice a long time ago, 40 years ago. What I chose was to go with DC as far as collecting things, and I ain't got nothing against Marvel. I love Spider Man, love Fantastic Four, Hulk, some of my favorite stuff. But DC, is just my babies, and I've always loved DC. Collected the comics and toys and just anything I could get on video and record or buy for years. And I just wanted a channel to kind of celebrate that. And I'm on the road. I'm a private investigator actually, and I'm at a hotel, and I've been wanting to start this channel for a while. And first things first, I'm gonna be whenever I'm at home, it'll be more of a studio setting, and um, I'm gonna bring out. I've got all kinds of old toys. I've got the old Amiga dolls. I've got superpowers, the superpower collection. The old Batmobile. I've got all kinds of old toys from the first movie with Keaton, um, and then comic books galore. For this first episode, I'm going to tell you about the first actual comic book that I got, and what it was, and how old I was. But I'm going to try to have some segments, and of course, I'm going to talk some DC universe and DC extended universe or worlds of DC, whatever it's going to be called. It don't matter to me. All I know is, listen, folks, I'm over the moon that we have a Justice League movie, and I mean, listen, I want the Snyder cut as much as anybody in the world because I want to see Doomsday. I want to see Kilowog. I want to see Tomar Ray. All the rumors, everything that was said that was in it from Kevin Smith and everybody that talked about it. Give it to me. I mean, come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Because let me tell you, I love it. I love it. Casting, Alexander Luthor. Give me the real Luthor at some point. This guy's good. Jesse Eisenberg, whatever his name is. He's okay for what he's doing for sure. Ezra Miller probably wouldn't have been my first Flash choice, but I'm okay with it. Everybody else, I'm wonderful. Listen, what Momoa has done, Aquaman, it's hard to do. And you know what? Momoa is more believable as far as the rough around the edges king than anything I've ever read in an Aquaman comic. And I love Aquaman comic. I love Aquaman. One of my favorites. I'm a water person. Love swimming. Love the pool. Can't keep me out of the ocean, out of the swimming pool, whatever, all day long in the summer. We go vacation. I'm in the water with the kids all day long. So I'm an Aquaman myself. And to get a guy that's half Hawaiian, and I think of Hawaiians as sea people or water people or whatever because they're on islands and they're surrounded by water. And I know Momoa grew up in Idaho or somewhere like that, but still, his dad uh, is from Hawaii, and to change that character for that movie to make $1 billion is just wonderful. I mean, I'm sure Momoa himself, of course, is a draw, but to whenever you can change a character, and it's hard to introduce or change a character like that, or introduce a character like say like how Harley Quinn was introduced or Mister Freeze was introduced, not in the comics, but in Harley Quinn's case, a cartoon, Mister Freeze's case, Adam West TV show, and then those characters, whenever you make those characters huge like they are, Harley Quinn is just a major DC villain. Um, it's hard to do. It's just hard to pull that off. You can pull it off in the comics, throw it against the wall, whatever. But like I said, what Momoa has done is wonderful, and I love Aquaman. Everybody's giving Shazam wonderful reviews. Everybody's saying, "Oh, this is the best DC movie," and Honestly, I hope so. I can't wait. I mean, like I said, I'm a mark for DC, y'all. I'm a person that feels like we're blessed to have any of these movies, and what Zack Snyder's done, I praise. What Patty Jenkins has done, I praise. I mean, Wonder Woman's is wonderful. All the solo movies are so wonderful, man. It's still just wonderful. Batman vs Superman, yeah, it feels like they crammed 10 pounds of crap in a 5 pound bag, but come on, man, the imagery from the games and Justice, from the imagery from Dark Knight Returns, you got so much. I mean, yeah, it kind of squeezed in. Maybe I wouldn't have thrown Doomsday, whatever. But hey, we got it, and I know he's the Abomination, Krypton, whatever. I get it, I get it, I get it. Love it. Listen, I love it, and I'm not complaining. And definitely the extended cut where you got more Lois, um, makes for a better movie. The plan, the huge plan, and oh my gosh, how elaborate. With you had the native lady that was there, and she was lying to Congress about Superman, and like, you know, basically what I think is KG Beast pushes her into the subway and kills her, and like all this crazy story that you really, didn't get in the original cut, but that extended cut's so good. And listen, my kid and me, we love Suicide Squad. Now, would I like to have Steppenwolf in there um, and the demon things actually be parademons instead of zombie whatever they were? Um, Absolutely, I would have rather had that. I mean, that's for sure. But what we got's fine. That introing all those cool villains, and I love all the looks. Captain Boomerang, El Diablo, man. I've never been sold on El Diablo. I sold on El Diablo, man. They did wonderful on him. I'm a Killer Croc fan. Loved it. What crazy makeup that he had. He looked great. He looked great. Like I said, Captain Boomerang, great. Flags, whatever. He could have had a better guy, maybe Flag, maybe whatever. It don't matter. Good role. And getting the Elba guy to play Deadshot now. Um Brilliant. I love Deadshot. And Will Smith is okay. It's Will Smith, whatever. Probably need this guy to move forward because I got a feeling Guns probably, we might get it might get violent. We might get something really cool and crazy and getting Polka Dot Man and shoot Ratcatcher and freaking Enforcer, Executioner, whatever his name. What's his name? I can't think. Anyway, if Batista plays this guy, wonderful, wonderful. Let's do it. I'm all aboard. I'm all aboard for it. All aboard for it. But I really didn't mean to get into that so much. I will get into all of that. Get into Shazam. Probably have an episode on Aquaman. All these movies. And like I said, I'm going to try to have toy time, and I'm also thinking about maybe whenever I'm on cases. Of course, I can't tell you, I can't show you where I'm at and show you faces or something. But I might pull up a feed or do if I do a live recording or just a recording of me doing my job. Because face it, I'm the closest thing legally to be Batman, and it be legal that you can be, right? I mean, PI. I mean, come on. Anyway, just having fun. But I do want to give you a little background, and of course, one of the first things, of course, I just love Batman, and I remember whenever I was a kid, and I guess it probably been reruns. I was born in '74, but ABC, I believe, in the afternoon hour, I believe it was afternoon, they would run the Adam West Batman. And I mean, just the intro, the kind of that cartoon intro, and the music, and just the costumes, and just fell in love from day one with Batman and Robin. Big Dick Grayson fan, Nightwing fan, love Robins, all the Robins. Give me all the Robins, all the Bat family, every one of them, Batwoman, Batgirl. I want them all. I want all the Bat. I want all the Bat. Cassandra Cain, Barbara Gordon, whatever. I want them all. Uh, Love the Bat family. Uh, but one of the first, well, I do remember, and I remember making my mom buy me this coloring book twice, but they had like this coloring book that was based off of like the Adam West TV show. I remember it had that bat boat in it you could color. I remember I would that was one of the first pages even I got it twice. I wanted to color that thing all the time. I can't remember how to get the copter in it, but I mean, the copter, just all the little machines, gadgets in that show, and how they would hide it, getting it in and out of their utility belts. Just, I don't know, as a kid, you don't even care. It's all works for you as a kid, and it even works for me now. I love it. I could watch all those episodes a million times. But the car, listen, of course, if I had money at my yin yang, I'd have a Batmobile, and Adam West Batmobile is my favorite by far. Uh, Superpowers one where it's kind of bluish and they kind of changed it all that. Love it, love it. And of course, with the movies, they changed it to those. I mean, I'd take a Keaton Batmobile or I'd take any Batmobile. Are you kidding me? Any Batmobile. And I was lucky enough when I first started doing PI work out in LA. Give you a quick thing. I got to see the Warner Brothers thing. It's before Batman vs Superman come out. I got to see every Batmobile. I touched them. You ain't supposed to touch them. I touched them all. You kidding me? I ain't gonna go in that thing and not touch them. But let me tell you, the Justice League or the new Batmobile, that thing's about 3 times the size of any Batmobile you've ever saw in the movies. I thought the Tumbler was going to be bigger than it was. Tumbler wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. And that Keaton or the Val Kilmer Batmobile, small, was not very big at all. I was surprised at the size of some of it. I mean, golly, Robin's motorcycle was as big as that, and Batgirl's motorcycle. Anyway, got to see Mr. Freeze's little kind of whatever machine he had. That thing wasn't as big as it kind of appeared in the movie. But the new Batmobile is a monster. It's a monster. I mean, it took up the whole middle of the floor of that warehouse or whatever we were in Warner Brothers Studios. It's huge, huge. I mean, huge. Loved it, love it. Give me more. Anyway, I'd definitely buy a Batmobile. Anyway, that's why I just coloring book. And I go straight, I love coloring the belts and the, whatever, the symbols and the cows and just whatever, I loved it. But my first comic book, J.C. Penney's, Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia, where I'm from, this State Street, the middle of the downtown. One side of it's Virginia, one side of it's Tennessee. But so J.C. Penney's hadn't been on the left side, and there's a place called Mountain Empire Comics, and they were on a side street, Piedmont, I believe. And you could go, this is back, in the days where you could let your kid kind of run around. You didn't have to necessarily keep up with them all the time, I guess, But I remember Mom and Dad being at J.C. Penney's, and I was bored. Who knows what they were looking for, what they were shopping for, but it wasn't for me, and I didn't want to be there. So I said, let me go just right across Piedmont there and look at comic books, go to Mountain Empire Comics so I can look, look at something I want to look at. So what's funny is I go in there and the guy runs it, me and him had a little falling out over stupid politics and gun control and whatever. And, but anyway, this guy, he didn't care though. He'd sell a kid, whatever. I mean, I couldn't have been, so this would have been what, mid-80s. This is Dark Knight Returns. It just come out. Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns just come out. And I mean, something about the artwork and those original books. And of course, I wish I'd have bought them all. I let a guy that's, I guess, mad at me borrow the one that Mom and Dad had bought me. He probably still has it. He already gave it back. But anyway, I don't think the guy likes me too much at this point. But not that I did anything wrong to him. But anyway, so Mom and Dad, they didn't know. Who knew in 1984, 85, 86, whenever those Dark Knight comics, those Frank Miller Dark Knight comics were coming out? I mean, who knew how adult they were? I mean, I sure didn't know. I was a kid. You didn't have the internet back then. There wasn't all this great information. I didn't know about Wizard magazine. I didn't know how. I just knew it was Batman and it was a comic book. I didn't know it was adult. I just figured it was Batman. It was all kid stuff. Mom and Dad, I'm sure, thought the same thing. So they bought me either volume 2 or 3. It's the one with the, I believe it starts out that particular issue with the big Nazi boobed Russian whatever woman in the store, and Batman's the old lady, big old lady dressed up, and Robin, I think, help Carrie Kelly uh, is helping him. And anyway, I mean, if it had just opened up that book and saw those freaking swastikas over her breasticles there, then mom and dad probably wouldn't have bought it. I mean, dad was a preacher, and the cussing in it, and like I think that book too, it has Selena Kyle, and that's what I couldn't figure it out because I knew, that Wonder Woman's name was Diana Prince, but I guess at the time I didn't put that Selena Kyle was Catwoman at the time. Anyway, like the Joker don't show anything, but Joker had raped Selena Kyle. She was running a prostitute service, which makes sense as an adult, and now that I know what it is. But Selena Kyle was running like a prostitute service. I guess she was the madam. But Joker dressed her up in a Wonder Woman outfit and rapes her and leaves her tied up. And Bruce finds her. And anyway, I mean, all this and all, like I said, the cussing in the book and like the language and everything. But as a kid, I didn't look at any of that sexual anyway. I didn't care. I've never looked at comic sexual. Like I don't care how the girls are dressed, whatever. Animation, I'm into it for the stories and just the goodness of it. The pureness of the comics and what they're typically trying to do. I don't like getting into politics much with comics and whatever. Like, don't give me agendas and any kind of social justice crap, in a way. I mean, some, because, I mean, that's what superheroes do is protect people. And, that's fine. So maybe, I don't mean to sound so strict on maybe on that, but anyway, so my first comic is Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns, Volume 3, it seems. I don't know why I think it's 2, but it seems like that's 3. But I did end up getting the 4th or whatever. I got the last issue of it. So I had an original first run of 3 and 4, I think. I might have had 2, 3, and 4, trying to get the whole thing. I don't know if I ever had 1 or not, but eventually I bought a compilation of it all. So, I was a young kid, maybe 10 years old, around that age, whenever I first got that kind of comic. And it blew me away at that age. You look over the cuss words, you look over the weirdness, any kind of weird stuff. I didn't even understand some of it. You know what I mean? Going back and reading as an adult, I mean, I've read that book 10, 15 times in my life. It's a book I can go back and read anytime and enjoy it like it's great. Every time. And Watchmen the same way, but not quite as much as The Dark Knight. I mean, that book shaped me in my comic taste because it wasn't far from in the 90s. You got Nightfall and you started, the comics just really changed. That changed everything. Watchmen and Dark Knight just changed everything for the best. I mean, art wise, art got better. Late 80s, 90s, especially stories got just wonderful. Batman stories got wonderful. The run that DC had from 90 and even starting Justice League in 90 to what 210 2010. What a great run for Justice League. What a great run. And whenever they started getting into the big epic stories in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, I mean, DC was just knocking it out of the park, man, book after book. 52 was good. People got mad. I got a little mad at it myself, but I went back since and read some of it. Courthouse is wonderful. Death of the Family is wonderful. I've got books I haven't caught up on yet on that, but like I said, I didn't want to get too far. I just want to give a little introduction, talk a little bit about the movies. And like I said, I'm not home right now. I'm on the road working, but I just want to get a first episode down. And, I'm just a DC mark and DC lover. And I'm going to praise, pretty much anything DC does. And it's something, kids, you got to learn is whenever I first saw the 1989 Batman movie, I freaking hated it. I mean, I hated every single thing about it. I didn't like anything about it, nothing. And it got held over, or it come back. I guess in August or late summer, whatever it was, they brought it back, and And me and my mom, except I don't know if we saw Superman 1 in the theater. I kind of think we do. I would have been pretty young, 5 or 6, but I'm pretty sure. I know we saw 2, 3, 4. We didn't miss them, but I'm pretty sure we saw 1 also. I do remember whenever VHS was coming out, and that was one of the first movies, that maybe Rocky 1, that I saw on VHS, like where you could rent. And it was at this weird theater. They just started renting. We didn't have rental places, but right after that, you started getting like local rental places before Blockbuster, any of that. This place, Volunteer Videos, what we had in Bristol, and there's a couple other places, but you could rent movies back then. But anyway, so me and mom had went and saw every Superman, whatever DC movie, I guess Supergirl, whatever that came out during that time. But we had not seen the '89 Batman, and I guess I was a freshman or sophomore in high school at the time, and getting a little older. And I don't know if mom thought I didn't want to go either way. I don't know, but she wanted to see it. I told her how much I hated it. Everybody knew how much I just hated it, because I don't know. I wanted what I want, the blue and gray Batman, I guess, and I don't know what I wanted. But me and mom went back and saw it, and I flipped out. I couldn't believe how good it was, and why did I hate it so bad? And it's so good, and I guess I didn't like Keaton at first. I was like, why is Mr. Mom Batman? And not that not that I think he's so wonderful. I tell you what's funny is I think the script for Batman Forever is there. Tommy Lee Jones' execution's not great. Uh, I tell you what, Val Kilmer's execution is actually pretty daggone good in the scheme of things. If you listen to the script's right. Listen to what Tommy Lee Jones is saying, not how he's saying it and how he's acting, but listen to who wrote the words. He didn't understand the character. I think not like he should have. He could have played it like he did a little bit, but he was just so over the top. But hey, once again, it sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm not. That might be my favorite of all the old ones. And one reason why it's my favorite is because you got a real Robin story in there, a real Robin story. And they gave me enough throwback with the circus suits that looks like his old suit. They even mentioned Nightwing as a name for him to be as a sidekick at one point. I mean, there's some Easter eggs in there, man, that, I really enjoyed. That's for sure. Still enjoy. One of my favorites, and I'm a Riddler villain fan. So uh, I thought Carey did a great job, knocked it out of the park. He was a great Riddler. Yeah, I'd like to see a different Riddler, like the way he is now on the games and some things. But anyway, that's my take on some of that. You're probably gonna hear some of these stories maybe again. I don't know, but that's my humble beginnings with DC. Like I said, I made a choice a long time ago. You can't collect everything, wrestling and this or that, and Marvel and everything else. So I made a choice. I was like, if I'm going to collect something in this world, what is it that I really want to collect? And it's DC. And that's what I did, and that's what I've done all these years. And I just love DC. And of course, I love my kid and love God and love my family and everything else. But it's what I was telling my mom the other day. I was like, what really keeps me wanting to stay alive in this world is to see what kind of movie or what kind of comic book or toy or whatever that DC comes out with next, because I want to see it. I want it. I want to consume it. So anyway, I did cover a lot of ground, I feel like, in the first episode, and we'll get into other news and things as we go on. I don't know how I'm going to do this once a week or whenever I feel like it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but anyway, I'm just going to enjoy it because I enjoy DC and I love talking about DC. And I'll probably ramble on, and like I said, I'm probably going to repeat myself a million times on these things. But I will have stuff where I will bring out like toys and comic books I'm going to talk about and what I thought about them, and try to make it as interesting as possible. But I'm gonna get out of here. I don't want to take up a bunch of your time right off the bat. And uh, this is Doomsday T on DC. And either be good, please be good, or be good at it, I guess. Y'all have a good one. See you next time. Bye.